What's up, guys? It's me Boxing, and today I'm going to be predicting the outcome of Jermall Charlo versus Sergiy Derevyanchenko, which will be a 12-rounder for the WBC Middleweight World Championship. And this fight will be Saturday, September 26th from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific is when it will start. It will be the first pay-per-view card and one of the best cards since boxing's come back because of the coronavirus pandemic. And to get into both fighters, the world champion, Jermall Charlo, undefeated at 30-0 with 22 wins by knockout. He's ranked number 3 by BoxRec. And he has a hell of a resume dating back to when he was a super welterweight. He picked up the IBF world title, knocking out Cornelius Bundridge. And then he made a couple of title defenses, getting a TKO win versus Wilkie Camphert. Then getting a unanimous decision win against Austin Trout. A great win right there. Then knocking Julian Williams out cold with a huge uppercut, one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen. Then that was his final title defense at a super welterweight before moving up to middleweight, where he took on Hugo Centeno Jr., knocking him out in the second round to pick up the WBC Interim Middleweight World Championship. That was an excellent shot he caught Centeno with on the ropes, dropped him, flattened him. Centeno couldn't get up. Then there's a little controversial roadblock here as he took on Matt Korobov. Many people, including myself, thought Korobov won that fight. I scored a 115-113 to Matt Korobov. I don't really see how you could give all the other rounds to Jermall Charlo. Some of the judges scored a 119-109, which is disgusting. I thought Korobov easily outboxed Charlo for the first 7 rounds, and the last 5 Charlo took. Drop your comments down below if you think Korobov won that fight, but I do. And that was his first title defense at middleweight for his WBC crown. Then he took on Brandon Adams, wide unanimous decision there. And then his most recent win in December, an excellent uppercut, feint knockout over Dennis Hogan. He feinted him with the right hand, landed the right uppercut. I mean, Dennis Hogan was so confident going into that fight since many people thought he beat Jaime Munguia, but he just got flattened. I mean, he got knocked out easily. He made quick work of him, even though it was in the 7th round. He was just jabbing him. He dropped him in the 4th. I mean, he was just way too big for Dennis Hogan and easily beat him. And to get into his opponent, Sergiy Derevyanchenko, fighting out of the Ukraine, has a record of 13-2 with 10 wins by knockout, ranked number 6 by BoxRec. And there really isn't a difference here, as I think these two are very similar in rankings, even though I think Derevyanchenko is the better fighter. You just have to rank Charlo higher because he has no losses, obviously, 2-time world champion, and he's coming off some great wins. But Derevyanchenko is coming off a loss to Triple G. Many people thought that Derevyanchenko won that fight. He did get dropped early on, but he came back, hurting Triple G to the body multiple times, and he put up a hell of a fight. And that was one of the best fights of 2019, arguably the fight of the year. Great fight, and that was just about a year ago, October 5th, 2019. But he also has a controversial win against Daniel Jacobs. His only losses are to the 2 top guys in the middleweight division. Well, now Daniel Jacobs is a super middleweight, and they were very close fights. I mean, many people thought that he beat Triple G, and many people, including myself, thought he beat Daniel Jacobs. Even though he did get dropped early in the 2nd round against Daniel Jacobs, he came back and won almost every single round of my scorecard. I scored it 115-112 for Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Very close fight, very good fight that was at the MSG Theater, I believe back in 2018 when HBO was coming to a close for boxing. But that was a great fight. You guys should go check it out. But his best wins are definitely against Jack Kolkai, which is a pretty good win, former world champion by unanimous decision. He also has a KO win versus Toriano Johnson and a KO win versus the veteran and former champion Sam Soliman. I mean, the resume difference here, it's just evident that Jermall Charlo has the much better resume, including wins, as he has wins over Julian Williams, Matt Korobov, Austin Trout, guys like that. While Derevyanchenko has wins over Jack Kolkai and Toriano Johnson. I mean, not great guys. I guess his best win is definitely against Jack Kolkai. But when you look at his performance versus the top guys, he can compete with them, as many people thought he beat the top guys. As opposed to Charlo, when he stepped to the middleweight and took on a Matt Korobov, who hadn't fought in 2 years. And many people thought he schooled him, including myself. So I'm predicting this to be Charlo's first loss, unless they gift him a decision, which it might happen. I think Derevyanchenko is going to pressure him, going to pound him to the body, pound him with hooks to head. Charlo may be able to score an early knockdown, just like Triple G and Daniel Jacobs did, but otherwise I think Derevyanchenko should get the job done, getting either a unanimous decision win or like majority decision win. It'll likely be split or majority if it's for Derevyanchenko. If it's for Charlo, it's just going to be a unanimous decision, probably wide, because the judges, in my opinion, just favor Charlo for some reason. And let's say if Jermall were to lose, just like in when he fought Korobov, my theory was that being that Jermall lost, they let the wrong Charlo win. I thought that Jermall won against Tony Harrison in the first fight, and Jermall lost to Korobov in the main event. So it really depends on the first fight. If the co-main event, which will obviously be the Charlo versus Rosario, if Charlo comes out on top, then they may have fair scoring here. If he loses, I think they're obviously, if it goes a distance, in a close fight, they're going to give it to Charlo, even if Derevyanchenko was winning on most people's scores. So my final prediction is probably Sergiy Derevyanchenko getting a unanimous decision. Well, on my scorecard, it'll probably be unanimous, but it'll probably be very close on the judges' scorecards. I'm thinking maybe 116-112 for Derevyanchenko. Judges may have it 114-114 or 115-113. But otherwise, I do think these two guys are the best in the middleweight division. Winner of this fight, who knows, they might take on Triple G. Derevyanchenko could rematch Triple G if he wins this fight. I'm not sure what would happen for Charlo if he were to win. I know he's been calling out Canelo. I don't think he's ready for Canelo. I think Derevyanchenko, since he's kind of built the same as Canelo, stocky but small, same height, 5'9", that'll be a good fight, but I think Charlo gets smoked by Canelo. So yeah, my final prediction, as I said before, Derevyanchenko to get a close decision win and become the new WBC Middleweight World Champion. 3rd time's a charm, I'm hoping. And I gotta say one thing, I'm just not a fan of the Charlo brothers. I think they're both arrogant, and I mean, it's kind of annoying. Like during the press conferences, they were kind of disrespecting Brian Custer, and they're just kind of annoying, in my opinion. I'm sorry if you guys are Charlo fans, but I'm not, and I think Derevyanchenko is going to win. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.